And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Guys, in today's video, as always, we are going to be going over all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. That includes some shock Mo Salah news amid a clash. We'll get into that a bit later on, but let's start with a bit of transfer news, of course, before we get into the depths. And to be honest, there's nothing really in the pipeline at this moment in time for the Reds. We have had different bits of speculation here and there, and as stated, guys, we'll keep you up to date with all the little things, but of course, we try and only bring you the most reputable information. Yesterday, it was being reported that still Liverpool are on the attack to sign Lenny Yoro, but I don't really get into this one at this moment in time because, well, it just feels like, oh, if Real Madrid get him, if Real Madrid want him, Real Madrid will get him, so we'll have to wait out and see on that one. But there was an interesting one that appeared yesterday with regards to Bologna centre-back, of course, Riccardo Calafiori, and it stated that, of course, Liverpool are one of the clubs that have made contact with the Italian club to try and get the 22-year-old, and as stated, Bologna believe that after the Euros they could sell Calafiori abroad for a very high fee. So there's quite a lot of clubs currently interested in monitoring the player, and as stated, we've been dubbed as a club that have been looking at him. But that's all we've really got for you in regards to transfer news. And as I keep on stating, guys, most of this will probably start... Well, when we go into July, we should start to get the wheels into motion with regards to the transfer news and hopefully get a bit more information, as it has been fairly quiet and a little bit dead so far in June. But speaking about the European Championships, guys, there was a Liverpool participant yesterday. Yes, Diogo Jota thought he had headed Portugal to victory over the Czech Republic on Tuesday night, only for a swift offside call to rule his effort out. Jota did not start Portugal's Euro 2024 opener, but was sent on immediately after the Czech Republic took a surprise lead through Lucas Provode just after the hour mark. The Liverpool striker replaced Rafael Leao, with regular linked defender Gonçalo Inácio also brought on for Manchester United's Diogo Dalot. Portugal levelled soon after via an unfortunate own goal from Robin Hurenk, with Jota a bright presence in the final third, harrying Czech defenders and setting Bernardo Silva up for a chance on goal. And with 3 minutes remaining of normal time, the 27-year-old was in the right place at the right time to head after Cristiano Ronaldo's effort rebounded off the post. Jota grabbed the ball from Czech goalkeeper Stanek in order to wheel out a celebration that suggests his partner Ruud could also expecting their third child. Only, though, the goal was soon to be ruled out by semi-automated offside technology, with the decision just made in 11 seconds, in a stark reminder of the fast that fans have to endure without in the Premier League. Fortunately, the upcoming campaign will see the technology introduced for the first time in the English top flight, which will hopefully remove the painfully long VAR reviews for tight offsides. Though Jota's effort was chalked off, Portugal eventually sealed the victory through the tournament debutant Francisco Canessio, who finished well at close range in the second minute of stoppage time. It was a bitter blow to Czech, who had Liverpool goalkeeper Jaros on the bench. The win put Portugal second in Group F after the first round of matches, with Turkey top after their 3-1 victory over Georgia earlier that evening. Wednesday, of course, does bring us the start of the second round of fixtures, and Liverpool players, obviously, Dominic Szoboszlai will be playing against Germany, and then Scotland's Andy Robertson will be taking on Switzerland. So, yeah, Euros are fully in motion at this moment in time, and as stated, quite positive, I suppose, towards the end for the Liverpool players, but we hope to see maybe Andy Robertson, Scotland, get something tonight against Hungary, and then, of course, Dom Szoboszlai maybe get something off Germany. Both of those lost their first games in Group A. So, yeah, that's the Euros. Of course, the Copa America is starting very, very soon, so we'll keep you updated with that competition, as well as Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez and co are all competing. Brazil and all that sort of stuff are competing there. Now, keeping on the sort of international theme, guys, there was a revelation that came out last night, which had angered Liverpool fans at first. It's always a farce that we have to deal with every single season. But in a shock, bitter news, and a bit of shock Mo Salah news, that this will now work in Liverpool's favour. Yes, clubs will now be able to refuse the release of players to the African Cup of Nations under FIFA's rules if the competition concludes in January 2026 as expected. The PA news agency understands that the AFCON, due to be played in the summer of 2025, is being moved in part due to FIFA's scheduling of the 32-team World Cup. The new dates are understood to be December 21st to January 18th, cutting right across the Premier League festive programme and only just missing either side dates for the Champions League match rounds. However, it appears FIFA rules governing the release of players will mean clubs are within their right to block players going to either the AFCON or the World Cup later in 2026. It's not compulsory to release the same player for more than one A representative team final competition per year, FIFA's regulations on the status and transfer of players state. The 2021 AFCON was ultimately played in January and February 2022, but in that instance, the rescheduling by the Confederation of African Football was due to the COVID-19 pandemic rather than any other tournament. FIFA has been contacted for comment. The calendar clash comes at a time when FIFA is facing legal challenges in the Belgian courts for player unions, including professional footballers associations, over its scheduling and of the Club World Cup. The unions want the European Court of Justice to make a preliminary ruling on whether FIFA has breached the EU Charter or fundamental rights and decision to introduce the new Club World Cup format. Everyone across football knows that the fixture calendar is broken to the point that it has now become unworkable, PFA Chief Executive Malonga said last week. Too many within football act like it's exempt from the normal requirements of employers and employees. Players are not being listened to and they want to see action. So yeah, some shock Mo Salah news there, guys. Usually we don't really have a say when it comes to the AFCON, but due to the proposed dates that's going across the festive period, it could mean that Liverpool, in a shock revelation, may now be able to block Mo Salah from going to the African Cup of Nations, which makes me bring this over to you. Again, I need to be careful what I say here because I don't like to be disrespectful. Anything representing your country is the primary honour, and I do agree with that. However, with AFCON, it's super frustrating. Well, usually in January it's fine, we can kind of deal with it. But across the festive period, when there's literally a game every 2 days, this cannot be happening. We are paying his wages, and that has to be looked at. But in a shock revelation, it does seem though that Liverpool could block him going to the African Cup of Nations and other players that do compete at that competition. But again, look, I would never want Mo Salah to be blocked from playing for Egypt. I love the African Cup of Nations actually as a competition. I do tune into it regularly when it's on, but there has to be a middle ground there as well that's not going to be blocking one of our best players from playing in a super congested period of the season, which actually does have a big say in where the title is going. Those games across the festive period have a huge say just because of the congestion of those fixtures, so they are important matches for us. But Liverpool fans, do let me know your thoughts on the whole African Cup of Nations saga at this moment in time with Mo Salah. Do you think the club should block him from going in this proposed dates for the festive period? Yes or no? Let me know down there in the comment section below. That, guys, brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. And remember to check out our Liverpool t-shirts. Link is down in the description, or go to cobwhiteclothing.com. Thank you, guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.